do you know how much you made tonight? And I was just like, how much? He was like, you made like £17,000. You know?
You know what I realized? If you want to get rich, you could literally do everything.
Yeah.
Anything. Like, we could go and start a window cleaning business. Give us 5 years, we'll be millionaires.
Exactly.
You know what's crazy? I've never ever had any formalized sales.
Don't believe it that like you can't get rich by just stacking on retainers. So if anyone's listening to this right now and you're like a bit older, like 23, 24, 25, 26, it's not late yet.
I literally have clients who are 17, bro, that are doing 16. My youngest is 16 out of all my clients.
That's crazy.
And he's doing like 150 to 300K a month. Actually, you make a lot of money for the level of DJ you are. Welcome back. Today we're having another conversation with one of my boys, Kim. Good to have you. So I'll be honest, like Kim and I, we've known each other for like what, 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
But I know he has a PR firm. I know he's very successful and he's a very successful DJ. But we have spoken a lot, but also not that much. So today is like our first sit-down conversation. He literally hit me up like 2 days ago and we made it happen. So
yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Let's get into it. So
yeah.
What have you been up to these days? So far?
Running the agency, doing music. I just came back from an Asia tour. I was flown out there to play music, but also at the same time I was doing business as well. So yeah, just back now. Just like you, just growing the agency at the moment.
Sick,
so,
bro.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah. You should probably introduce like what you actually do, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I basically run a PR agency called the PR Genius. Been running that for the past like 3.5 years now. We've done like 200 clients in the past 3.5 years. We've got 32 clients on an ongoing basis, a team of 16 now actually. And we mainly focus on crypto, AI, and SaaS clients. So during the bear market, it was mainly SaaS and AI, and during the bull run, which we're creeping towards at the moment, or we're maybe in the beam of everything at the moment, we do crypto. So that's kind of what we do in general. We have a sub company within that called Insight Bond, which is all around executive roundtables, which we also pioneered as a way and means of clients to get PR whilst also closing deals and meeting more executives and building the network. And then now all of that has been running for the past 3.5 years. We're kind of rebranding at the moment slowly into not only a PR firm, but a general investing PR and content firm altogether. Because we realize that, you know, we're bringing more than just PR to the table now these days. So that's what we've been working on at the moment. In terms of the agency itself, it started from being a B2B cold outbound agency that kind of went into PR. So that's kind of like how that happened and where we're at now.
Got it. Yeah, because I remember you were a cold outbound guy when we first met, actually.
Yeah.
For sure. So how did that transition take place then? Because cold outbound and PR, like, I guess they're kind of similar, right? You're just doing cold outbound, but specifically to get PR publications.
Yeah. It's that was the beginning of it until we realized that like it was a lot more than just what you just mentioned, just reaching out to journalists in general. It was, you know, it was the beginning. It was like, it was the beginning of that, but then it basically transferred into something completely different, going like, oh, now we can use the systems that we built for cold outbound to not only reach journalists, podcasts, and event speaking opportunities, but having that as a crazy advantage on our side to achieve a lot more in terms of outreach and coverage than other journalists. Because they don't know all these automation systems, you know. Yeah,
because I was going to say, like, I think, you know, like when you're pivoting every agency at first, you're just like, oh, bro, like PR's so easy. Just go on like Daily Wire and find like all of just scrape all the journalists' names and just spam every one of them. You're going to get articles. But then you like later realize, oh, it's copywriting and da-da-da.
And also like scraping like, you know, more than just emails, but like, you know, Telegram handles, stuff like that, you know, even reaching out cold work sometimes if you've got the right story. But yeah, initially it was that, and the thing was like, I believe in general in anything you build, which is like B2B, especially like in the service-based business, you really have to be good at sales.
For sure.
And if you're good at sales, I do believe you can get into any niche and do really well. You just got to find that niche that you really care about, and you know that you're so obsessed by it that you will always find a better way of serving your clients. I think the point where like you're stuck at a certain amount of money that you make per month, or delivering on anything via a client in terms of like, you know, not getting the best results or anything like that, is because you don't really care anymore. And you're not, and it's not like you're not liking what you're doing. It's more the fact that like, you know, maybe you don't like the niche itself. So we're very lucky that, and this is the best thing about working for yourself, is that we were able to choose our niche that we really cared about.
Yeah.
We were only able to hone into our skills because we really enjoyed it. But at the same time, these skills were developed prior to entering this space, but mainly in sales.
Got it. But do you actually, I'm going to push back on that a little bit, because I used to think it was the niche, but then I just realized it's the people. Like, I like the people I work with. The e-com niche I'm good at, so I like it now. But when I was bad at e-com, bro, it's rough. Like, nobody would listen to you. They don't really give a fuck about your opinions. But now, like, it actually holds weight because of the way we acquire clients, referrals, etc. So, like, your reputation is built. You know? So I feel like definitely, like, life is a lot easier now than it was in the past.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's why a lot of people, like, you know, you shouldn't jump niche to niche and stay in one of them.
100%.
And even if it's not the most shiny thing, over time, as you said, you just, you know, people know who you are, people trust your processes, people have seen you in the game for a long time. And, you know, the best thing about, you know, any service-based business is that reoccurring revenue coming from referral clients.
Of course. So actually, let's rewind a little bit, because I feel like we fast forward straight into like where you're at right now.
Yeah.
Let's go all the way back, because you're actually a really famous DJ as well, right?
I play shows around,
Yeah, so it's like, and actually, if you guys guess his age, I promise you're gonna fuck it up.
I'm actually older than I look. So I started into this game when I was like 26, 27. I'm actually 30 now.
30?
Yeah, I'm 30 now,
Fuck.
So like I got in super late. I've actually enjoyed so much of my life until this moment as well. But like
like business sucks now.
It's hard now, I'm joking. But like I don't have like that mentality of, and I do regret maybe sometimes I should have done this earlier. Because obviously all you guys are really young, stuff like that we know in Dubai, but like I got in via such a different route compared to everyone else. So my obsession was always music. But I was like a good Asian kid, you know, so I did everything that I went to uni, did my master's at a very good university. I came out, I did investment banking and so on, you know, so a very corporate route. I wasn't supposed to be on this side of the angle. But
didn't you, like, when we had Japanese barbecue that one time, didn't you tell me that you were like a little shit growing up?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
So I was a terrible student growing up, but like I've always stuck like to the pathway that of my parents, that they told me that was like successful in terms of like what you should do in terms of like, you know, studying, getting that specific degree, getting that specific job. But I had crazy ADHD. That's why like I was a little shit, and like that's why I was doing stupid stuff, because I was just getting bored really fast.
But so how did you but you always had like you always had like strong academics?
I had okay academics. No, so at school I was terrible, but at uni I was better. But where I was good at, and this is why I didn't realize it, was I was always very good at talking shit, getting my way through things.
Facts.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
and
that's how like I realized at the end of the day is that like, if you go to university and you get kind of like okay grades, but you're super good at networking, you can find yourself in an investment bank like I did, with other kids from the top schools knowing how the hell you got there in the first place.
Well, honestly, investment banking is one of those sectors, I feel like, especially if you're like an analyst or like some sort of associate, you actually know jack shit, but like you're just a good talker.
Yeah.
That's really it. But like in terms of that space overall, when I was in uni, I was only there for 1 year, but looking back, I now realize like actually universities are crazy corrupt, because the coursework itself and the modules are not that hard, right? It's primarily just like, and you can actually influence your own grades if you have good relationships with your professors. That was something I only clocked like after I dropped out.
Yeah.
You know? So like people staying after class and just like getting FaceTime with the professors and shit is like, yeah, like it influences grades. And back then I was just naive, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I put in the work, get the answers correct, give me good grades. But it's actually not entirely like that.
Yeah. That's why I realized about the world when going to investment banking.
Yeah.
I realized like, if you kind of like sweet talk your way in, and they actually genuinely like you on the other side. And even though you're not the best, but somehow they think you could be potentially the best, they'll give you a shot. So they gave me a shot. Gave me a shot for like a year in France and Hong Kong. Didn't go the way I thought it was going to go.
Really? What happened?
Yeah. I just wasn't analytical enough. I just realized that my ADHD was heavier than I thought, because I just really gave a shit about things that was on the side rather than doing the job itself. Like, so for example, when I got to Hong Kong, I started throwing like techno raves, because I was 2014, you know, and I was still doing my job, you know, but I was doing both at the same time.
2014.
That's kind of gave me my first taste of like, you can do two things at once if you're really good at both of them, you know.
Oh my God, that reminds me.
Yeah.
We didn't meet 2 years ago. We met 6 years ago. No.
Oh,
5.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
We met accidentally it was your birthday party.
It was my birthday party, yeah.
I went to his birthday party, completely random, in some like members club in London, because you booked it out or like rented it, or
I used to throw parties there as well. Yeah, I used to throw raves in that members house.
Oh my God, it was nuts, because basically I think I was showing you Snapchats of that night, because I was like super wasted.
Yeah, such a small.
And I took a selfie with, because in this pub, I guess, or like club or whatever, there's just taxidermied animals everywhere. Tigers, giraffes, fucking everything.
Yeah.
And then, I was just like drunk as fuck. I took a selfie with the tiger. I showed you last time.
Yeah, we were Japanese. Yeah,
that's like, wild. Were you DJing or just like having fun that time?
So basically, like from like I think 2012 to that time you saw me, that was like 2018 for like 6 years. I was just like hustling, and I had to get shows. I had to like throw my own parties. They were pretty successful, to be honest, and those were one of the parties you came to. Yeah. So they were pretty successful, and it really. People started talking to me like because of that. I wasn't really producing music at the time. I was getting into it years later. So at that time when you met me, I was still like figuring it out and throwing those parties.
Got it.
And I never did it for the love of the money. It was just to figure out like I love music. How do I get more shows? You know.
For sure. I remember that party specifically. I was broke as fuck. I couldn't even buy drinks. I did like I got drunk at like Pre's, and I don't even think I paid an entrance fee.
No, you know why? Yeah. This was like literally like my aha moment.
And it was a members club. I was like, hey, yo, never been one of these before.
It was actually not the best members club, and they needed to fit it up on weekends. So what happened was basically I told them that like, let's do this deal where like I get you guys tons of people in, but instead of like getting paid for tickets, I take 20% of the bar spend. Yeah, and it's free, right? And they're like, yeah, let's do it and everything. So I was like, it's perfect. And I was like, you never ever get bar spend at an event. And then I like positioned it. This is where I realized positioning is super important, as London's biggest house party, because it literally was like a house, you know.
Yeah, bro, with a bunch of animals inside.
Literally. So I call it London's biggest house party, and instead of making it like super public, I made it like. There was a one point, do you remember, everything was on Facebook groups?
Yeah.
So I made a closed Facebook group called that. It was called the Mad Hatter's House Party, basically. And then loads of people signed up, and like, it was insane. So that night where you were at, I remember like at the end of the night, everyone left. I was with the manager by the bar, the till, and he just opened the thing, and he was like, whoa. And I was like, what? He was like, do you know how much you made tonight? And I was just like, how much? He was like, you made like £17,000. And I was just sat there at the bar going like, what? And he was just like, and he looked at it, he was just like, this can't be possible. He was like, did that many people buy drinks? And then I was like, how's that possible? He was like, we've got a bar upstairs, a bar here, and there's a bar downstairs.
Yeah, there's 3 levels of bars.
Yeah.
The ground floor, middle floor, and then top floor is like some...
house party thing. Like.
It was more like a loungy type of vibe.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, animals and stuffed animals.
Crazy. That was a polar bear.
There was a polar bear in the second room. Yeah. That's why we threw like, all the DJs and everything, and that's why I realized like to get to the entrepreneurship thing. Like I realized that through hustling through all these years, but doing the music stuff and all these kind of things, it kind of came together. And I kind of learned whilst I was doing it, you know. But yeah, that was like probably the biggest check I've seen. Like I was like 24, 25, I forgot. So I was still pretty like old in terms of like, you know, this whole generation when I was doing it, but it was like the aha moment going like, damn, like you can just take profit share and things, you know?
Bro, that's exactly it, man. You get a percentage, you're like equity, well, not equity, but like, yeah, like equity for one night type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
That was a bargain, it was a bargain. But that taught me a lot of things. That's why like I basically have this analogy where like, you know how like you left uni, didn't you, right?
Yeah.
So I got this thing where like, I am like so intrigued because I didn't think I would be able to do this. Maybe I would have been able to do it, but like it was too risky for me at that time. But like, what I really believe in is that if you are at uni and you're probably like your second or third year and you're about to finish, I would tell anyone, don't get too stressed out what you're gonna do afterwards, even if you want to become an entrepreneur. Go and find a job that enables you to strengthen the key transferable skills that are good for entrepreneurship, whether it's marketing, sales, or whatever it is. Get paid that salary if you are too scared about jumping on the other side. Because for me, out of uni, the whole entire time, I was like, I'm gonna build a company, I never did. That was too comfortable.
Yeah, bro, I cannot explain how annoyed I get. Because I'm very like, I'll be honest, I'm pretty gullible as a person.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, why? Because I don't lie, especially when I first moved to Dubai, because I don't like about numbers.
Yeah.
So you just assume people won't lie.
Yeah.
Because it's like, there's no benefit to it, right?
Yeah.
And then now I realize some people, they lie so big that you just don't even think about to question it, because it's like, this guy would be so retarded to lie like, oh, I'm doing millions a month and you're doing like 20K. You know? But so I just never questioned it. But also same as when people tell me, oh, I'm gonna start a XYZ business. I'm like, oh, that's sick, bro. I'm so excited for you. And then 3 months later, it's like, oh, have you like done anything with it? It's like, oh no, you know, like, excuse, blah 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 blah. Life got in the way, but I was in hospital. I was like, I don't care. Like, what the fuck? So I was super gullible, and now I've realized that actually, when people say, oh, I want to do business, I'm like, why haven't you done it?
Yeah, exactly.
Bitch.
So I was that guy at uni. I kept going like, oh, I'm gonna like do it, and I never did it, because there's also one thing about uni and stuff like that is like you get in such a comfort zone, you know.
For a first year, like wake up, go gym. If there's coursework, do coursework. Just smoke weed.
Exactly. Chill, have fun. You know, like there was no responsibilities, and as I was getting towards the end of uni, and this is the thing as well. You know, I don't know about you, but like I always had this like analogy that like startup stuff was always, you have to have a crazy idea, right? So I spent time on a piece of paper like drawing out crazy ideas. I didn't have that thing about service-based business just yet. But what happened was that I basically, when I came out of uni, I did a few odd jobs, but the one that really got me going was a sales job. So I usually tell people this. I think this is the best route if you're at uni and you're lost and you want to get out and get transferable skills. We all know the best transferable skill on earth is sales. You know? Yeah,
I think it's very, like, it's the most entry level in terms of like, if you want to guarantee to become a millionaire, just get sales.
Exactly.
If you want to be a billionaire, it's a different story, but like, still, sales is going to help you, you know? 100%.
I agree with that. Like, I think billionaire is product mindset and sales.
Yes.
Whereas like millionaire, definitely sales. Like, if you become a millionaire, like
you can scam people and become a millionaire.
Bro, trust you know, like people like bankers and everything, right? So the way the hierarchy works is that the analysts do all that crappy job just to understand how the trade works. But the people that are really bringing in money are the MDs, you know. Those guys are closing the deals. Consulting firms as well. Consulting firms, the MDs are closing the deals, you know. But so I was like, fuck, how do you get into like you know that sales mindset and sales job? Bro, like today, what I realize is that choose a company that gives you the best sales training, and the best sales training that I've seen that I went through myself is SaaS sales.
Really?
SaaS, 100%. SaaS sales, like,
you know what's crazy? I've never ever had any formalized sales training.
Yeah, but
except door to door, but I don't count it. Why? Because you're given a script. They're not training you to be good at sales.
Yeah.
Because they're like the type of people that stay in those types of jobs long term.
Yeah.
They're like not. I'll be honest, they're not the brightest.
Yeah.
Because if you're brighter, then you realize, oh, there's higher leverage opportunity vehicles.
Yeah.
But like, because I was selling £10 a month subscriptions. Door to door. Yeah. Like the stupidity, you know what I mean? But anyway, so long story short, I don't think that trained me at sales. I think what it really was, I had to teach myself, but the biggest overcome is just, actually, if you just say something confidently, people don't really question you.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't.
They don't.
So I closed my first agency clients.
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
It's true. You have to be confident. It's true.
Yeah, I guarantee I can scale your brand because look, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and you can see how, because you don't have this marketing strategy, if we just apply this, it's gonna grow, right? Yeah, and in my head I was like, I don't know.
I know. I completely agree with you on that point, and also, because I was like you, I was always good at sales, no sales training in general, but I feel that like with sales training, you do hone into one particular part, which I think is really good to like, you know, to work on, is sales objections. So like, I'm like very confident like you, right? When it comes to like, I know my craft, I know to hone on it, I know every question you can answer around it. But I now with like sales training, I can detect straight away, just by looking at people, the way they look at me, the way they ask the questions, what objection I'm going to handle down the line before they even ask it. And that's what I learned mainly in SaaS sales training, because SaaS sales training, you're selling a high average order value product, and you're selling to a very specific niche, and that product solves a very good solution to that niche. And sometimes, if you're a very good product, then there's not a lot of competitors. So they'll just try and maneuver, ask other questions about things that you wouldn't think would come up. So during the sales training, they were like, these are all the objections that could happen, and we're going to train you on all these objections one by one, so you're going to be a craft and master at them. So even if, for example, like you don't sell, you know, the product at the end of the day, you're able to really maneuver conversations in a way where like your average order, your average like closing rate will only increase over time. And I was just like, whoa, I was like, I've never learned this part before. Because anyone, for me, if you're just naturally like, you know, an extrovert and you can, you know your stuff really well, yeah, you can get to a few points, but we've always had these things in sales where like the client just didn't close or something just happened, we didn't know what it was, you know. And now I realize that like objection handling is like that biggest obstacle towards a high conversion rate. And yes, SaaS sales really taught me that. I'm not the best at it, obviously, you know. But if I had to bring a sales consultant into my team today, then it would be 100% the first thing, objection handling, you know, through all the objections that can happen, you know. But yeah, I usually tell people that like, if you want to start somewhere learning skills, go into a SaaS company. Like if you want to make a hell of a lot of money, and this
SaaS sales, you can make like, especially if you US firms, 250.
But you know why?
Not common. It's not uncommon, bro.
Yeah, but you know why?
Yeah, LTV is ridiculous. If you're selling B2B solutions, 50K a year packages, 10-year retention.
Exactly, and plus like these companies, they grow at all costs. So therefore like the investor, when we were doing like PR for like AI and SaaS companies, they had no budget compared to crypto companies because it's not part of what they're built on at a very early stage. What they're built on is growth at all costs on the sales side, which means we're gonna give them a hell of a lot of training on the sales side. We're gonna make them really good commissions and a really good base. And if you enter one of these SaaS companies at the very beginning, you get that training, you get a really good young team of SDRs, and you learn the basis of cold calling, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then you get account executive role. Bro, like the SaaS company that I was working in, the quota was so low and the commissions were so high that literally 2 years in, an account executive would buy a Lamborghini. On like, yeah, literally 3-4 years in.
What?
Yeah, like.
I'm 4 years in, I haven't got a fucking Lambo yet.
It's crazy because it's like real estate, you know? Real estate. Yesterday, I went on a date with this girl and her boss, she's like 26, 27, she makes 9 mil a year doing luxury real estate.
She just makes 9 mil a year?
9 million pounds a year.
Pounds?
Yeah, she told me last night, and I was like, whoa. Fuck. I was like, that's the amount of money that we can generate over like probably 3-4 years, and that's like, you know, that's even good, you know, really good at that point. And she does it in 1 year, and I was just like, wow, how? Yeah, for me, it just blew my mind.
And that's all profit as well, because she has no expenses. Maybe a car, but that's it.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just literally negotiation and putting people together, but it's high average order value product, you know?
Well, yeah.
Exactly. So and again, all sales, you know, it's just all sales. It just depends, like, the thing for me is that, like, even like with those big numbers, I mean, she's good at finding really good real estate deals. She's very good at brokering them. She's got a network now. Don't forget, she's like us now with our network and where we are, you know. But the basis of what she did was sales.
You know what I realized? If you want to get rich, you could literally do everything.
Yeah.
anything. Like, we could go and start a window cleaning business. Give us 5 years, we'll be millionaires.
Exactly. Just like.
But if you want to like get to like, let's say 100, opportunity vehicle does matter.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's the one thing I kind of realize now.
Yeah, 100%. People can tell you that they started there because it was getting hot. No, they were just lucky. They're lucky they got there at the right time, at the right moment. It's always 100%.
Like that. I do think that like now, the more I'm like, over the years I'm deeper in, I realize that actually luck is a big factor. But not luck in the sense of like, I got lucky in the sense that I went into e-com as opposed to dental agencies or whatever. Yeah. But I did do like local brick and mortar. I just pivoted fast. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then I started during the pandemic, so it's like, I got lucky. Yeah. But not really. The only luck I had, honestly, I'll be real, is like getting on the right side of the algorithm by accident. Yeah, yeah. In terms of like the self-improvement. Yeah. It started off with fitness actually. So fitness became like Jordan Peterson type of like philosophical shit. And then like that became slowly, oh, actually money is really important. Yeah. You know, like, so it's like a gradual transition. Okay. I feel like fitness is always like the gateway drug for a lot of people. It is. In terms of like salespeople, like freelance salespeople, the best people are like ex-athletes and stuff like that, just because of the mindset, you know. Interesting. Sort of like that. I do need to hire a, I have an SDR at the moment. I think he's just a bit slow, but like, I need to get like some sort of closer in place. So the SaaS one is actually a good source for me because I could just literally poach a Klaviyo closer. Yeah, you can. Like from Klaviyo. SaaS sales guys are like the most like they're like, you know how in sales you've got farmers and then you've got hunters? SaaS are just hunters. Really? Yeah, mad hunters. Like for me, like if you get a farmer, you can get someone from a very big company come in and just like nurture the client. But if you want someone that's like a wolf, then like a SaaS person is best. What about agency sales people, like with agency sales experience? Have you got good success with that? Yeah, we have a closer at the moment. He's one of my close friends. I went through like a closing consulting course. I'm not gonna name the person, but it was terrible. Cole Gordon? Not gonna name the person, it was terrible. It's Cole Gordon. Not gonna name the person. Is it Cole Gordon? I've heard really good things about Cole. No one names any names, okay, but, no more. But it was terrible. Like it was some of these guys, by the way, just to let you know, because I went through most of them. They sell closers for info products, just to let you know. Oh, bro, it's so different. That's the thing. When people say, I can get you 30, 100 appointments, I'm like, yeah, good luck. In info, I can get myself 30 to 100 appointments in info. It's not hard, bro. You just DM, hey, I can help you make 10K a month. Yeah. So. And they don't ask because they're not very educated. And all you do is just jump on a call and just emotional sell. Like, it's very easy to close those types of deals. So the closers they give you are closers for info. Just to let you know. You don't need product knowledge. Exactly. You don't need to have any technical knowledge. Because if you're trying to take a business from like $1 million to $3 million, then it's like you need to be a consultant. You can't just be like, you can't just be like, oh, what difference would it make to your life if we added an extra $1 million to your income? Exactly. Fuck all, bruv. Nothing. This is why when we started the consulting course with, maybe you know that person, we downloaded their script, and in the script it was like, on the phone it was like, get a pen and paper and write this down. And I looked at that and I was like, this would never ever happen with a sales call you tell a company. A CEO of a $10 million a year company, hey, get this pen and paper. Bitch, who the fuck are you to tell me to get a pen and paper to write this down? What the hell? What the hell? So the only people they got me, I swear to God, were like people selling info products. And there was one point there was like a trader that came into the batch we're interviewing, and I was like, why am I interviewing you? And you know how they do it, right? The whole system. No. The whole system is basically, I'll literally tell you the whole system, how it works for these like closing companies, whatever it is. And again, no hate towards them. Well, no, it works. It's just for the wrong industry. You got you're not their demographic. It's fine. I'm not. But for info, it's perfect. But the way they do it is they have a Facebook ad that runs, going like, do you want to be a closer today? Do you want to make 10K a month without like, working from a phone, right? So they get them into this funnel.
where then they qualify them if they're good for sales or not to train them up online sales.
For free or like a biz op? It's a biz op, right?
It's a biz op. They make them pay 8.5K
to be trained as a closer. And then it's like a placement offer.
Yes. And then they place them. And then the other side, you've got people like me pay 15K
just to get connected.
to get a closer on. And that's how it works basically. So the people that come through the ads obviously are not always the best. And the training itself, which I, again, no hatred towards things, but I just find it's just crazy.
Well, you need reps to be a good, as in repetitions of sales calls.
Exactly, but most of them are giving a school course or like some drive.
Yeah, you can't do that. You have to get them to watch like a fuck ton of sales recordings. I don't think role play works either.
Oh, it depends, but it's better than just like reading through scripts, you know?
Oh, I agree.
But like for me, online sales is so much more different than
it's just practice, bro. Because like I'll be honest, like door to door taught me one thing about sales is just practice.
It is.
Your first pitch is gonna suck ass, but your thousandth pitch is gonna be much better.
Exactly. You know? So if you understand that analogy. So how does someone come from the internet and in 3 months is appointed onto this course?
Well, for agency sales, it really doesn't work. But for like info, it really works. If you're selling BizOp, because they're selling to the same demographic as themselves, because they bought a BizOp offer.
That's true.
You know, like, hey, make 10K a month. Now they're selling make 10K a month.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
I think it's their whole business is very smart, but I think agency closers, if you want to do high ticket B2B type of, you can't hire from that pool. It's a very different pool. You need people who are like genuinely like loves the client and understands the service.
Yeah, definitely. I also think as well, like if you need a closer, take one. You don't need more than that, because then you have that friction of like having like, because with one closer you already need to have a certain amount of leads coming in, otherwise he gets pissed. Right, and then if you have more than one closer, then you have to have in the front end a lot of leads coming in, him closing a lot, and in the back end, your client, you have to deliver to these clients at the same time.
I think if you want to get for me to get 500K a month, I need 2 closers, for sure.
Oh yeah, but what I'm saying is that,
and if I don't want, I mean, I need 2 people closing. One of them could be me. But
but you need to be careful with the back end. That's what we messed up on for a bit. Like, we brought in the closing and started closing a lot, and we're like, oh, sweet money's coming in, you know, and then we're just like down the back end. We need to fix this back end at the same time, you know.
Interesting.
So that's why there was a friction between like, we're doing really well, but then like, now we need to serve these clients, you know. Yeah. And then that whole analogy comes in terms of client retention.
I've actually never had that. Not yet.
Really?
Yes, because last year we 4x'd. Yeah. But without that, because we figured out a really good solid like hiring funnel.
Oh, that's good.
And the key is actually to promote a new tier of leadership. Yeah. So last year we basically scaled with myself at the top. Compared to previous years where I was more so like COO type of role as well. Yeah. We had I introduced like a COO role, like head of fulfillment, right? So like Adam ran the team. Yeah. But then as we grew, I realized Adam couldn't actually manage everyone effectively. So now we have 2 team leaders that manages the team. Yeah. And Adam holds them accountable to a bunch of KPIs. Yeah. So and now I realize, okay, this looks like more of a company org chart now. Because before it was just like a bunch of circles, and now it's like connected. It's a pyramid scheme. You know?
It's so funny because like I usually do those things that you just mentioned on like a 7-hour flight.
So it's not a pyramid scheme, by the way. We run legit business. That was a joke.
The whole entire thing. It's so funny. But going back to what I mentioned before in terms of the progression from sales to where I am today. Like, I'm gonna give you my background, how I did it, but being completely like transparent about it. Where like I never knew who these gurus were. I never jumped onto a course, and today I'm making the money wherever it is in terms of volume as these guys are, but going through a completely different way of doing it. And I think this is kind of the traditional way. If you're not engulfing and eating YouTube, you know? So the way I did it was like, and this is again like a circumstance that was very, very rare that would occur in the world, which was like COVID. But the way I did it was that I went to a sales job and then I lost my sales job. And then what I realized was that like, I need to make money. So I started freelancing by doing what I did best, which meant sending emails to book meetings for clients. And I didn't do any course or anything. That's what I did at the very beginning. And I realized I was really good at it. and then I basically created systems around it. Again, not knowing what I was doing, but I remember I can't do this 9 hours a day. Went at work, hired my first guy. Shout out to Rayhan, he's killing it right now. He works with like a crazy people at the moment. But hired him and then basically took on more clients. And I did that for like literally a year without no mentoring, no masterclass, no nothing. And then got that up to like 30K a month, I think. That's when I first arrived to Dubai. And you know what, when I started my business, like I did ask a few friends to come and join me because I was burning out, and none of them did. None of them was like, I'm gonna help you out.
They don't want it, bro.
Because, but also they'll just like, it's probably one of Kim's crazy ideas again, or like, how is this gonna work? Anyway, too many questions. I asked like my guy, can you help me hire other people? And he was like, yeah, of course. These guys are down to like believe in the idea and make it work, because for them, anything's better than where they are at the moment anyway, And that grit that they had was insane, because the secret that I did was that I hired from Pakistani guys from American-based companies.
Oh, that's sauce.
So like
Accenture, your consulting
S&P and all that, So I hired these guys in the back office, but these guys were smart as hell, They spoke English like crazy because I had to talk to the S&P guys. And then basically, they became my friends over time, and I was like, you know what? If you can hire someone like him to come on, then that would be great. And then suddenly I had a lot at one point. There was like 10 of them because I really didn't want to do any of the job, But then the system started failing. That's where I brought in my business partner and CEO today, Jamie, who's my COO the past 3 years. He helped then basically maneuver everything. And then what's the crazy thing? Now today, some of the guys that worked for me, they've gone on and done some crazy stuff. It's crazy. Like one of the guys, Rayhan, shout out to Rayhan, works with James Backle. He does all these AI automation stuff. The guy ends up on the boat with like James and Iman Gatti and like Mike Thurston and everything. He used to work for me, he was my first employee, And now he works for him. Wakari still works for me, runs all my sales stuff. Some of the guys I taught email automation, do email automation for a bunch of like SaaS companies now. It's insane. Like it not only this online thing changed my life, changed their life, but it was like, who's laughing last, about this thing, and that's how I got to the point where I came to Dubai, and obviously everything in Dubai changed when I arrived there, all the ideas came and everything. But from that path of like 0 to like 30,000, it took me probably a year and a half of not trying to figure things out, things failing and stuff like that. But I didn't do any of the courses. I didn't know who any of these gurus were when I arrived in Dubai, when people were talking about them. And I wasn't distracted, and I just knew that like I had to get out of this and make some money. But I went from a glorified freelancer to being a business owner because I overhired on the Pakistani guy's front, because I was just like, I need to get more of these guys, are sick,
That's so funny.
But that's how I got into it. It's just so random. It wasn't like I planned anything. It wasn't my dream or anything.
You know what? I've spent quite a bit on courses and coaching and shit over the years, but I found that like, it helped me to get from 0 to let's say 30, but 30 to like where I'm at now is all me. Because you can't really you can kind of coach someone if it's one-on-one, but I think the best advice I've ever gotten in business to help me from 30 to 120 is just like that the dinners you go to and like the one-liner that you hear from like this side of the table, you hear it and you're like, oh fuck, I've been a retard. Like for example, I did the email course for Iman, right? And then I did it, and my biggest takeaway from it was get a videographer.
Yeah.
Imagine, like,
life changing. Shout out.
But yeah, like imagine that was, and now we're banging out content consistent.
Yeah.
Isn't that stupid? I had to put in about a week worth of like work just to get one advice, but that advice, I promise, is gonna ROI like crazy.
It's always like that, and
it's always a one-liner, bro.
Yeah, and all these guys, these alpha guys, they know if they give you that secret sauce, like the one little thing that you observed, is gonna change everything.
Yeah, so it's like just be in proximity, but you have to keep your eyes open and ears open. Because some people are just like arrogant, or they just don't understand that being in proximity, it's not like, hey, I'm just gonna tell you straight up, do this, do that. It's like, you have to observe and then infer the lessons,
Yeah.
You can't just, no one's gonna tell you, hey, this is how you become a millionaire, step 1, step 2, step 3.
No.
They'll sell you on that, but like, they can give you a rough system, because like, you can templatize like an outreach method, but you can't really templatize like the one messaging and the offer that's going to work.
Yeah,
Can't do it. Not at scale, anyways. You know?
No. I mean, it depends, but you're right on most things like that. Like, when you said about the secret sauce, how you're getting someone to do your video stuff and obviously creating content from that, and that was like, it's going to generate ROI. For me, it was the agency business model that I turned upside down last year. Mm-hmm. And I had some alpha source that changed completely the way we were doing things, and it helped us so much. Basically, what happened was that with agencies, just being realistic about stuff. Like, I mean, I don't know how your business model works, but I'm a firm believer that like you can't get rich by just stacking on retainers. You
can't get rich. Yeah, you're right. You have to find a way to leverage the capital up.
Exactly, yeah. Or if you can, like, either take profit share or performance fees.
That's what I'm getting into it now.
Yeah.
Because I think at a smaller scale, you don't really add enough value, nor do you have the reputation as like an individual to be able to command it properly without them questioning your value.
Yeah.
But I think now it's getting to a point where I've started investing in brands and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100% agree. Like, I think you can get rich. You can't get like crazy rich though.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to be crazy rich Asians on just like 5K retainers, Like,
exactly. And that's what I realized. So last year, what happened was that like, our agency like went down massively beginning of January 2023 because the bear market hit. People couldn't afford obviously like 10K retainers anymore and stuff like that. So I took a solo trip to Thailand, and at this point we were losing money probably for 3 months. It was really bad.
You've had negatives in the agency?
It was a negative in June 2023. That was the first negative, and then 2-3 months after that was like 4 or 5K, still negative. Yeah, we stacked up a lot on like one niche, and that niche completely died. The FTX thing just ruined everything, right?
Bro, we have one. We don't just do e-com now, but the other niche we're in, there's maybe like 50 total qualified clients. We have about 10% of that market.
Wow.
So I'm not telling anyone it, but like the risk with that niche is, and that's why they're only like maybe 10%, like 15% of our like entire retainer base. Yeah. Because like that space can get pulled anytime.
Yeah.
It's technically unregulated, but it's like ethical and legal, but like it's just unregulated.
Well, that's the thing. So if you put all your eggs in one basket, that's what I did, because I was like, this is crazy and stuff like that. And then like a black swan event happens, you literally didn't know what to do. And yeah.
But AI and SaaS is fine though, right?
So no, it was, but we didn't like, we had too many clients in the Web3 niche, Right. But then like when January came over, everything kind of stopped. And the reason we had a negative month was mainly because of me. Because I didn't know what to do, I started stressing out, and I was at that point the only sales guy in the agency, so I was bringing the clients on. And what really didn't stick to them at that point was the whole model that we had of like 10K a month retainers and stuff like that, Especially going through a bear market, and especially if there's a recession, like we kind of like recession-y at that point with like AI and SaaS, the whole entire world. So I went to Thailand and I went to Japan. Well, one of my really good friends there, he gave me some alpha source on a different business model. Because sometimes you just have to look at things in terms of innovation, of like having a new business model that is novel rather than the delivery of it. Because he was telling me the clients are not coming on because you're not delivering it. You are delivering it. The clients are not coming on because your business model is like they can't afford it. So I was like, how do I flip this around? And he gave me some alpha source in terms of like flipping the business model around from basically charging a very small monthly fee. And he said, if you're that good, could you take money and performance everything that you land on in terms of opportunities? And I was like, yeah, I like that model, because that 1K fee, if I stack up with like 20, 30 clients, basically covers all my employees' salaries, and any performance fees that comes out of it, I know can bag in as pure profit. But then he was like, there's a little thing to the model that messes everything up, is that you need to have the right journalists, but also the good clients to have good stories to get out. If you're able to assemble those two and you have that model, you're flying. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try that out. And I went back and I tried that model out, and it was so much alpha source because it literally went the way he said it. The first month, signed a client on the back of that, went back to like 30, 40, 50, 80, 100. 100 and something for the end of the year, and I was just like, whoa.
Gang.
And like, yeah, I was like super happy, but like it was because I took the risk of doing the performance one because I knew I was good at it. If I wasn't good at it, I would tell upfront that, well, I'm not good at this stuff. Like, the retainer's safe for me.
Yeah.
Then that would be easier. But because I took the risk of doing that, and the whole team was just like, we're going to agree on Kim because we got to figure it out somehow. And my business partner Jamie was just like, you know what, I believe in you. Let's figure it out. Because we all believed in it, it happened. If we didn't believe in it, going like, can we actually do this on performance? Then it wouldn't have worked, but everyone was into it, you know. And because of that, the outreach that came out, you know, Alex Hormozy has this thing where he says that you have an offer that's really hard to refuse.
Yeah.
All right. Our offer was way too hard to not refuse.
Well, that's the thing with my agency now. We're pivoting into a slightly different service because I'm personally, for email marketing at least, I don't really like taking a performance.
Yeah.
It's just so easy.
Yeah, I know.
You know, but whereas if we were to do like CRO, that makes sense. Because
exactly.
if we did like advertorials and shit, if we get like the right copywriting, the right PDP structures in place, we can take actually percentage of spends.
Yeah.
And if you want to spend 100K against our funnel, guess what? You're paying us a percentage, you know?
Exactly.
So that's basically the model that I'm going into going forward now as well. But yeah, you're right, like performance 100%. And then same thing with equity. I'm starting to do a bit more like a couple more like equity deals in terms of, not we do their emails for free, but as in like, I just invest in the brand because I think it's gonna grow. But because I have the influence on the brand, what are they gonna do? Like, go with another agency?
Exactly, no.
Of course not, you know? So you get to reclaim your initial capital in like multiple ways.
I think
so you can
a lot of people
invest
do
like
that.
Risk-free basically.
Yeah. A lot of people doing that. I realized that
Yeah.
when it came to our level right now, I've seen a lot more people go into like investing. Like I'm investing as well. And you're right. It's just like, you know, you're really into the brand, and they feel that like you're in here for the long run.
And also they give you more referrals. You know?
They do as well, yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, he's our investor and he does our
exactly.
XYZ, 100%.
It's nice down the line, yeah, to do that.
For sure. But you know, I think a lot of people are beginners obviously watching this. I think people might hear us talk about this so casually and just think like, oh, is it even worth me getting started? And I would say 100%. Because like, bro, what else choice do you have? Stay broke? Like, what is the choice? Nothing.
But it also depends on like, you know, sorry. It also depends on what fuels your hunger. Like, because you know the way I see it is that like a lot of people like that get into our position are pushed and motivated by some sort of pivotal moment in their life. Whereas like, you know, they lost their job, they can't take you anymore, like in terms of like they broke up with their girlfriend or something like that, and they get into this position. That's what happened to me mainly, because I just lost my job and I was like, I have to find some solution to this. And I feel that people that like are thinking about it passively, without getting into it directly, I would advise them at that point, if you really want to get into this stuff and really be successful and not like die halfway through, like, you know, agency to plunge down, then to find a sort of traineeship job that has the transferable skills and to get into it. Because I know a lot of people that get into this and they do pretty well, and then suddenly like something happens and they lose everything just because they didn't have the experience previously of managing something. But that's my way of looking at things. Other people have different ways of doing it, but I took the safe route. I'm a bit older than everyone else at this moment in time. I can be making more money at my age, but I'm happy where I came from in the lapse of time that I had as I was getting to 26, 27. So if anyone's listening to this right now and you're like a bit older, like 22, 24, 25, 26, it's not late yet. And
it's never late, bro.
It's never late, yeah.
Yeah, because now I literally have clients who are 17, bro, that are doing 16. My youngest is 16 out of all my clients.
That's crazy.
And he's doing like 150 to 300K a month.
That's nuts.
Not profit, sorry. But with dropshipping. It's nuts. 16. Can you imagine? When I was 16, I was like watching anime, playing World of Warcraft. It's crazy.
I was like such a kid at 16.
Okay, cool. So I guess we'll wrap this because I know you got to go and you have meetings as well. So been a pleasure, bro.
Bro, it was sick.
Absolutely.
We'll do this again when I come back to Dubai after the summer.
When are you gonna be back?
I'm going back in September.
Shit. Okay, cool. No worries. Where are you gonna be though?
I'm gonna be in like Barcelona. I'm going to like the US on Sunday, but I'll be in Barcelona.
Yeah.
DJing in Latvia. I'm playing at Ultra Music Festival. So if anyone's around, shout me out.
Where's
in Croatia?
Croatia? Yeah. Oh no way. Are you gonna be on Yacht Week?
No, I'm just playing for that part, and then I'm off to Lisbon, and like I got a few weddings and stuff. So I'm gonna be around Europe.
Nice.
Let me know if you're.
I want to do yacht week, but like yacht weeks, I don't know if I actually want to sleep on a yacht for a week though.
It's a vibe though, but
Have you done it before?
no. One of my friends, Suhit, did it last year. I saw the pictures of it, and it looked really cool. But yeah, if I'm around anywhere, like, and there's a place to do a pod, then we can try and do that.
For sure. Yeah, bro. I mean, like, honestly, this channel, my whole vibe, I told Dior, I was like, the style of vlogs I want to do is like Borat.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just like wide angle static, captures like the action, but really like awkwardly.
Yeah.
'Cause I think like, you know, one of the things is like, it's never as smooth as you think it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So I feel like I want to represent that because I don't think there needs to be another like business guy that flexes and does a bunch of crazy shit. You know.
That's why I want to change myself to the business guy that actually does music and plays shows in front of people.
Yeah, you have a really unique angle actually because you make a lot of money for the level of DJ you are.
Yeah.
No, not like in an insulting, but as in like. As in a lot of DJs with the amount of followers that you have don't make 10% of your money.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Because they're focused just on DJing. I can do both.
Better business, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You know.
For sure. All right, bro.